the Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
I'm Colin Jost. Well, Zoo announced that a 14-year-old endangered chimpanzee named Naya is pregnant. Said the zoo's janitor, "She told me she was 18.
The wrong number was announced in this week's $86 million Mega Millions jackpot drawing, which is why I had to go into Lauren's office and unquit.
The makers of Barbie have introduced the first ever Barbie with hearing aids. It teaches an important lesson. It doesn't matter if you're deaf, as long as that body banging. The New York Times said it changed the answer from Monday's Wordle, which was fetus, because it was too closely connected to a major news story. Tough news for psychos whose first Wordle guess is always fetus.
Amazon announced that it will pay employees who have to travel to get an abortion up to $4,000 in expenses every year. The only catch is you got to do it during your 8-minute lunch break. There is renewed speculation about Vladimir Putin's health after he was photographed at a military parade with a heavy blanket across his lap. But hear me out, maybe the blanket is because thinking about war gets him hard as hell.
Well, if you feel like things are a little off this week, remember, yesterday was Friday the 13th. Tomorrow is a super blood moon. And according to the most annoying person you know, Mercury is in retrograde. Is it me, or does every story this week sound like the opening voiceover in a Mad Max movie? The year is 2022. A virus rages across the planet. The U.S. government hit its debt limit on Thursday, and the country now risks defaulting on its bills. And look, we've all been there, you know. You spend too much because life's too short, then the bill comes due, the bank won't loan you money anymore. Then you have no choice. You have to buckle down, face the music, and blow up your Staten Island ferry for insurance money.
What?
Recently, tennis star Andy Murray was upset after an umpire at the Australian Open refused to let him take a bathroom break during a 5-set-long match. Worse, it was deuce.
Fishermen in Florida have discovered a 214-year-old clam that was born the same year as Abraham Lincoln. The clam credits his longevity to staying away from the theater. A California man has set a new world record by visiting Disneyland for 2,995 consecutive days, but still no sign of his kid. A new study... I tried to plow right through. A new study finds that married men live a longer, healthier life. Yeah, but for what?
As this year's awards season gets underway, there's growing movement to get rid of the gendered categories of Best Actor and Best Actress, and instead call them Best Actor and Best Actor who got paid less. House Republicans, concerned that China could use TikTok to illegally gather information on Americans, have voted for a bill that could ban the app nationwide. Replied TikTok users.
The U.S. Energy Department concluded that COVID likely originated from a Wuhan laboratory leak and not a wet market. So I gave up eating bats for nothing? Newspapers around the country dropped the cartoon strip Dilbert after creator Scott Adams said he chose to live in a community where no black people live. So he lives in your building, huh, Colin?
Cryptocurrency crashed this week with Bitcoin losing nearly half its value, and now it has to legally change its name to BitOcoin. In fact, the entire crypto market has lost over $1 trillion, but don't worry, you can make that money back fast, as long as you've been hoarding baby formula. New York City officials say they have received over 7,000 rat sightings here in New York. So everybody, look under your seat. The Oklahoma City's
It was announced that a new disco-themed roller skating rink will open this summer in Central Park. Another classic 70s trend returning to the park this summer, stabbings. Apple announced that after 20 years, it will stop production of its iPod Touch because Apple products become obsolete once they're older than the kids who make them.
Senator Mitch McConnell seen here watching a shelter dog get passed up for adoption. Led a congressional delegation for a surprise visit to Ukraine today. It's weird because usually when McConnell shows up by surprise, it's behind you in the bathroom mirror. The Biden classified document scandal and the Trump classified document scandal are very different, but they do share one big thing in common. They both make Hillary Clinton want to blow her goddamn brains out. It would have been so funny if they searched Biden's garage and he had Hillary's server.
It was reported that last year the population of China declined by 850,000 people, thanks to an increase in China's leading cause of death, protesting. China plans to reverse the population decline with an emergency import of Nick Cannon.
State senators said the bill will prevent kids from being, quote, blindsided by a sexualized performance in public. What are you talking about? Drag shows don't just pop up like flash mobs and sprinkle gay dust on your kids. I never accidentally happened upon a drag show, and I grew up in New York City. Now, I have been blindsided by a sexualized performance a few times, but that's just what you get when you take the bus.
It's really sad, man.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
A new trend among younger workers is Bare Minimum Monday, in which they do as little as possible on the first day of the work week, while a new trend among World War II veterans is realizing their sacrifice meant nothing. Biologists in Florida are warning that the Jesus Christ lizard, named for its ability to run on water, could spread harmful diseases to humans. They hope to control the population by introducing a Pontius Pilate lizard.
That's sweet.
It was reported that the James Bond books are being rewritten to remove offensive material. So the character Pussy Galore will now be called Cooter Aplenty. This week, South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh was found guilty of murder and also found guilty of looking like Will Ferrell dressed as Conan O'Brien.
The House Ethics Committee has announced an investigation into George Santos. Well, thank God I'm not George Santos, said George Santos. Donald Trump accused Ron DeSantis of wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare and called the Florida governor a wheelchair-over-the-cliff kind of guy. Wheelchair over the cliff is also how Melania will finally get rid of him.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has signed a new law banning public drag performances with a 6-year prison sentence for repeat offenders. As first predicted in the now documentary, Medea Goes to Jail. A Tennessee state digital money has collapsed. Infants have nothing to eat. Women are forced to breed. Men are ready to die for gasoline. And we suffer under the leadership of the one known only as Joe.
Kevin Spacey will star in a historical drama about Genghis Khan's grandson. Said Spacey, you had me at grandson.
Well, guys, this is just in. The winner of this year's Eurovision Song Contest is Kalush Orchestra, a group from Ukraine. And this is cool. If you combine every member of Kalush Orchestra, you get Post Malone. The Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. has been sold for a reported $375 million. Well, I wouldn't say reported, said the IRS. A member of the punk rock group Pussy Riot, which has long protested Vladimir Putin, revealed that she fled the country disguised as a food delivery worker, which explains this notification from DoorDash.
You know, this baby formula shortage is scary. I mean, babies are very sensitive. You can't just feed them anything. I once tried to give my little nephew something different than his usual formula, and he nearly choked on that hot wing bone. The January 6th committee has subpoenaed 5 sitting Republican congressmen after they refused to testify voluntarily. Said the Republican congressman, you can't force us to do anything. We're not pregnant. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has proposed a new policy permanently banning mask mandates and vaccine requirements, saying, when the world lost its mind, Florida was a refuge of sanity. Then everyone in the crowd took a hit of nitrous and bit a cop. Donald Trump responded to reports that Ron DeSantis will run against him for the Republican nomination, saying, we'll handle this the way I handle things. So rough and without consent. A Catholic nun in France, who is believed to be the oldest person in the world, has died at the age of 118. Her cause of death was listed as answered prayer. You never know, Colin.
Some owners of McDonald's franchises are reportedly concerned about a campaign partnership with Cardi B, especially the ad where they claim their burgers have a wet-ass patty.
Oh. A porn star in Australia revealed that while recently filming a new movie, he broke his penis and said it... This is really sad, ma'am. He broke his penis and said it went completely black, which, you know, means it's never going back. The man has adjusted to his new black penis by filming all his sex scenes in Timberlands. A man in Missouri is planning to turn an abandoned jail into an Airbnb rental, which will make it the first jail that refuses to accept black people. It was announced that Puerto Rico's only zoo is closing after years of alleged animal neglect. Worse, the zoo is closing is being advertised as all you can eat. That's how he really dances, too. First Lady Jill Biden said in an interview that she maintains a good balance in the types of advice she offers President Biden, but it's mostly hold on to the railing.
No. Newspapers dropped the cartoon strip effective immediately, and to rub it in, they're replacing Dilbert with Peanuts' Oops All Franklin. Dilbert creator Scott Adams' racist rant was in response to the results of a poll that asked respondents the question, is it okay to be white? Oh, I'd say it's more than just okay.